Hi, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. Have you ever thought about if you put higher octane gasoline in your car or truck, would it get better gas mileage? Stay tuned and find out.
I'm Cheyne Walls, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. And I make my living as a fine art nature photographer that specializes in capturing the beauty of our national parks. I started my career as a photographer for Motor Trend magazine, and still to this day work with clients as kind of a side hustle on reviewing and photographing trucks and cars.
Now I'm here in my garage today packing up my 2018 TRD Pro Tacoma for an MPG test. And what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to take all my normal gear, which I usually take, all my photography, camping gear, everything like that. I'm going to load up this truck and I'm going to drive out to Little Lake, which from where I live is exactly 200 miles. And what the plan is with this test, I'm going to fill up, we're in California, so I'm going to fill up with 87, then 89, then 91 octane. I'm going to drive the 200 miles out to the lake, turn around at the lake, and come all the way back. Now, I'm going to do this test in 3 consecutive days, but we're in California, we're on lockdown right now because of the COVID-19 virus or the coronavirus. So I'm thinking in that aspect, the traffic, since not many people are traveling, the traffic should be pretty light and same all 3 days in a row. So I'm going to use this time to test the MPG to see what kind of MPG I'm getting on each octane. Now I am going to follow the social distancing rules. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm just going to get gas at the one gas station. We're not making any stops on this trip. It's just there and back, 400 miles, and that should pretty much empty this tank, or pretty close. I'll probably have about 50 miles of fuel left, so 2 or 3 gallons left in the truck. That might be the only variable in this, that their gas will mix a little bit, but that's the best I can do. I don't want to run this truck dry. I will then fill it up with a different octane, take those numbers, and we'll hand calculate what kind of MPG we're getting on each octane.
Okay, start of it, day 1, going with 87.
So here we go, we're off to Little Lake. We're filled up with Octane 87 gas, and I'm really interested to see what kind of gas mileage I do get on this octane. Been driving now for about 2 hours. I thought I'd pull over and take a little bit of a break. Now I can already see it in the comment section, or you're being way too thorough, da-da-da, da-da-that. But I'm trying to be really thorough in the way that it's important to me, MPG. I drive as a fine art and landscape photographer. I drive about 25,000 miles a year. So a couple bucks here and there, or a couple MPG here and there, could add thousands of dollars over the lifetime of this truck. I mean, taking 3 days to test that out seems kind of like a no-brainer for me. Now, I have watched a lot of other YouTube videos where they talk about doing MPG tests and they'll test their car or truck and everything. But a lot of them I really don't feel are in depth enough, because I mean most of them will just drive 100 miles, fill up, take the numbers, and then drive back. They won't, it's different times of day, there's so many more variables, the traffic is different, you know, if you go earlier in the morning opposed to later in the afternoon. I haven't found that really good video where they really do go into depth. I don't really think driving 100 miles, checking your numbers and getting an MPG out of that, I don't think that really quite works. You got to do a little bit more, like I'm doing, driving 400 miles each day to test. And I hope this in-depth review will cover a lot of that. And on top of that, you know, we're going up about 4,000, 5,000 feet in altitude, so we can factor that in. That's part of it. So I really hope to get some interesting numbers out of this test, and I hope it helps you out as well. Welcome to Little Lake. It's actually just under 200 miles to get here. We're right around 195, 196-ish. So it's wildflower season up here. I'm actually, you can tell it's really windy. I'm gonna see if I can get some pictures of some wildflowers here, and then we'll head home and we'll do this again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow it's not as windy.
Day 2, we're going to fill up with 89 today and get the numbers from yesterday on the 87.
Okay, on to day two, and for some reason today I don't need to pee. So I just thought I'd go over two quick things I learned from yesterday. Is it got a little hot later in the afternoon, so I did turn on the AC. I did mark it. We're being really thorough, overly thorough with this. So I'll run the AC exactly about an hour and a half on each trip. Also, just to mention, I hear a lot of people say, and I have felt it in sports cars, the higher the octane, the better performance you do get. With this truck though, going from 87 to 89 like we are today, and driving these 2 hours, 130 so miles, wherever we're at right now, I honestly don't, well, I don't feel any difference. So performance-wise, in this truck, no difference between 87 and 89. But to be fair, I've really just gotten on the freeway and cruised at 70 miles an hour.
Okay, this is it, third and final day. We're gonna fill up with 91 and we're gonna get the numbers from what we got yesterday on the 89 octane.
Oh, I feel a little bit better after that. Coffee went right through me today. So we're on the third day today, third and final day. We're on the 91 octane, and I just needed to stop, use the bathroom, and I just had to note I feel a huge performance difference in this 91 octane compared to the 87 and 89. The engine seems to be not working as hard, it's revving lower, and just the get up and go, I feel a difference. I mean, this truck isn't meant to be a performance vehicle on the road, but I definitely feel a difference. It seems to be running a little bit cleaner and easier. It doesn't seem to be working as hard, and it's kind of amazing. I wasn't expecting this. I really don't put 91 in this truck all that often, but just doing the drive up to this point, it has added performance to this truck. Here we are, day 4, and we did it. 1,200 miles over 3 days, each day with a different octane, to see what kind of MPG we get on each octane. Welcome to my Laguna Beach studio gallery. I got the numbers right here. Let's jump into it, because they're actually pretty surprising. I always kind of thought, or the rumors are, the higher the octane, the better the car performs. I never really trusted that, but now we have the numbers, and let's see how it looks. So, total 1 day travel ended up to be 397.7 miles, and that was from here to Little Lake and back again. 27 of those miles were done on residential or service roads. 10 miles were done on those dirt trails to get to the overlook. So that puts us at, it's a highway test pretty much. It's 360.7 miles highway, so it's pretty much a highway MPG test. Okay, what you've all been waiting for. Octane 87. Drove out there, drove the 397.7 miles. When we came back to fill up the truck, it took 15.432 gallons to refill. You calculate that out with the driving distance, that comes out to be 25.7 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. We were cruising, we were going about 70 miles an hour, so that's pretty good for a truck that size. So the next day, we filled up with 89 octane. Drove it to Little Lake, again back, same distance. And on that, the surprise here, Filling up the truck, it only took 14.82 gallons to fill up the truck again after that drive. So that gives us an MPG of 26.83, a full MPG better than 87 octane. So the 89 here, that's pretty impressive right there. Continue on with this trend. If the 89 jumped that high over the 87 octane, 91, maybe it should do the same. Not quite. 91 did finish with the best MPG, but after driving the third day on 91 octane, it took 14.6 gallons to refill the truck, giving us an MPG on octane 91 of 27.23. Yes, it is the best MPG on the 91 in this truck. So there you have it. From what I've learned, the best octane I can use on that truck anyway is the 89 octane. It's a little bit more expensive than the 87 octane, but I can go a lot further on it. So economically, that is my best bet for that truck, best octane to fill up my truck with. The 91, I can go a little bit farther than the 89 octane, but it doesn't really give me too much. I mean, I go from 26.8 miles per gallon on the 89 octane to 27.3 on the 91 octane. That's good, but it's not great, and it's not really worth the extra cost of gas, because unlike 87 to 89 octane, usually that's 5, 10, 15 cents per gallon more expensive. But in my experience, the 91 octane is usually 30 to 40 to 50 cents more expensive than the 89 octane. But after this experience on my long trips to Colorado and Utah, I think from now on I will fill up with 91 octane. The truck just seemed to run a little bit more efficiently on it. The numbers didn't really show too much of an MPG jump, but the truck, it just felt smoother. It felt like a cleaner driving truck, if that makes any sense. It just smooth is the perfect word for it. It just felt smoother. The gear changes, the acceleration, and heck, you know, if you believe the commercials, 91 octane is supposed to clean your engine a little bit. So if it's not too much more expensive, then why not throw it in your truck and get a little bit better MPG out of it? So there you have it. I hope you liked this MPG test I did. I worked really hard to be thorough. The only little overlap is, you know, some of the gas would have mixed, because actually it didn't take as much gas as I thought it was going to in the tank. So there are a few gallons left in the tank after this whole thing is done. But I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves, that there's a true difference between the octanes. And on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. Cheers. If you like this video, please give us a like or even subscribe. We'll be doing more of these videos in the near future, as well as the national parks are starting to reopen from the coronavirus. We'll be traveling out to those and kind of doing behind the scenes, how I photograph these images, how I find these places, off-road driving with the TRD Pro Tacoma truck. If you want to see that, please hit subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll be notified next time those videos comes out. Thank you.